everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video is part of my little scrapbook store, design team and guest designers National Scrapbook Day Challenge Hop. That is a mouthful. So today I'm going to be using the new collection from 49 and Market. And the product that I'm choosing to highlight is going to be the spritz or any type of spray that you may have. So mica sprays, Nuvo sprays. You can also use your oxide sprays. If that's what you have, I just want you guys to use them, okay? So each designer is going to have a different challenge for each video, and we'll each have a photo in our crop group that's on Facebook. And what you're going to do on each of the pages is you'll add your project that goes with the challenge. So I have antique linen, and the other one I was showing you was tattered rose. And I'm just doing the smushing technique, okay? So if you guys have never done this before, you get a piece of plastic. It can be from product. It can be from wherever. You can even probably cut up a Ziploc bag. You just need something that will allow you to be able to put the color down and then like smush it around, kind of like how I'm doing here, right? So what I'm doing is just trying to show you, my goal is, at first, I was going to have it go sideways and have the blue and then the pink tattered rose and then the antique linen, which is like a gold, but it's a champagne type gold, kind of going out to the sides. But partway through this, I am going to wind up turning this. And I think it's going to come out way better. Now, this is a Nuvo spray, mica spray, and for whatever reason, I have not been able to use the spray bottle on this one. Ever since I had it, it hasn't worked, but I'm just kind of scooping out some of the color, add a little bit of water, because I just want to add a little more of this peachy tone into the project. And don't be afraid to hit it with the heat tool to kind of dry it off, which is what I'm doing here. That just helps to make the colors more, how do I say, from getting muddy, right? So like a lot of the spritz, once it's dry, right? You can kind of reactivate it with water, but not as much. So you can do layering. That's one of the things I love about the spritz. But to go back to our actual challenge hop, so down below in the more section you will find links to the next video on the hop, and all that we ask is that you guys hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And then of course for the challenge part of the hop, you would add your final project to like my photo in the crop. Okay, and that's true for each designer, okay? And there will be a couple of Instagram posts, I believe, maybe a blog post, I'm not sure. But whatever the links are, they will all be listed below. I'll let you know where you are, which is at Craft with T. And then the next link right below mine will be your next trip on the hop, okay? And I'll go over it again as we get closer to the end. All right, so again, we're heating this up, making sure we get it all dry. I like to dry in between. Like I said, it just helps to minimize the muddying of colors. All right, so while this is drying, I always like to hit from the back because to me it helps with the warping. Now, this white paper that I'm using is a Foundations paper from Vicki Boutin. And like I said, this is the collection that we're going to be using, which is one fine day or one perfect day. Let me look again. One perfect day. I think One Fine Day was a movie, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so I'm just going to go through looking at the papers. With 49 and Market, you get one sheet per paper collection, okay? They don't do double. So if you ever get one of these paper packs, then you want to get 2 if you're a person who likes to have 2 sheets. Just giving you a heads up. Okay, so I decided that I'm going to use this one, and I'm cutting off the strip, and then we're going to cut this in half at 6 inches. And then this would be our line. And I was thinking what I would do is add the strip I just took off either on the bottom or on the side, and then or on the right. So these are the 2 photos that we're going to be scrapping. This is my bestie's daughter when she got engaged. And I just think that the colors are so perfect. And I love how these look. So this is where I'm kind of thinking. And as we start to pull everything out, you'll see it does shift a little. I'm not going to lie. But I love how it finally turns out. Okay, so the fun part, right? We have all of the bits. We have the laser die cuts. We have the flower cuts, laser cuts. These are the chipboard pieces. So I'm going to go through and see. I like to do things with these I try to get 3, they're almost like subtitles, right? So I know I'm going to create hopefully a title out of the big words that come in. And then one of these would go as a sub title underneath the large one, right? So let me see if it says great day, and then one of the little small pieces says she said yes or something like that. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of things. And a lot of times if I'm not 100% sure how I want to tie it all together, I will leave out the ones that I'm thinking about, and then as I'm putting it together, I'll grab what I need, and then everything else will just get put back into the packaging. Okay, so see, I keep holding out here together. I got perfect, always, and I'm just not 100% sure with those. So I'm you know what? I know I want some hearts, so I'm gonna save some hearts. I may want to do some of the circles, and then the rest of this I'm gonna put back into the packaging. Okay, and then these words I'm gonna leave off to the side. Now we're gonna go through the ephemera. Now, what I like about 49 and Margaret's collections is in the ephemera, sometimes there are large words there that you can use. Sometimes, you get tickets and you get tags and you get these little phrases, and there's all different kinds of things. Now, in this collection, they have even more stuff. They have these beautiful curtains that we're getting ready to come up on. Isn't that pretty? I'm I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I was loving it. And then there was this, and I'm I think I might use the window. Stay with me, okay? Because I'm telling you, my idea, I love how it comes out in the end. You guys are going to be what? Because I was am I doing this? I am. Okay. So now, once I get everything done, I'm going to, like I said, I'm just pulling out some things just so that I can have everything that I could possibly need without having to go through all the packaging again, right? So I've got off to the side all the things I think I'm going to use that were in the ephemera case, in the packaging, I should say. And then I'm going to slide all of that off, and then we're going to go through the laser pieces. All right. So now, in this one, this is more of the ephemera stuff. So there's chairs, and then there's more windows. But I was liking these lights, so I think I'm gonna pull out 2 of those, and we're gonna pull out some of the flowers, maybe even a couple of balloons. I'm trying to see what else. I do like those balloons. So, yep. Okay. I thought this was the side that I pulled the balloons from. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, both sides, because I want to do something with the window. And yeah, I think it's going to work good. We're also going to use a camera. because if I see it, I gotta use it. And then, is there anything else on here? I think that part I'm done. Oh, nope, one more camera. I think that was it. Just those two cameras, and that's it. Yeah. I decided not to use the binoculars or whatever they are. I think we just do the two cameras. And then I have some rings, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Just double checking. All right, and then we'll set that to the side. Do I actually try to put it in? I do. Sometimes I try not to put it in because I know we're recording and stuff, but I did put that one back in. A lot of times when we do our videos, I'll put that stuff to the side and just deal with it later. But we're going to start pulling out some of these flower clusters. And they are so pretty. I think this is probably going to be my first 49 and Market collection where I think I'm going to use everything. Like, I've already started enlisting people sending me their wedding photos because this collection it's just so beautiful. And then we'll check this one. Now that large spray, oh, that is so gorgeous. But I'm going to save that for something else. And now we're going to bring this back over. And as I'm starting to lay some stuff on it, I'm like, you know what? We're turning it. I am turning it immediately. So we're going to wind up using, I think I used the other side. Yes. So we're going to tape up on this side. Even though I do love the flowers and the polka dot, I really want the eyes to go to the flowers that I've picked out of the laser cuts. So we're not going to worry about that. So I'm just using some tape. And I got to do my refill. And this tape runner is new to me. I just got it one or two orders ago. And I have to say, I do enjoy using it. I'm already running out of my refills. But I would highly suggest it if you were in need of a new tape to use. I highly recommend this. All right, and then after I tape it or use my wet glue, I go ahead and start laying it down. And then we're still going to use our strip and go ahead and glue that down as well. All right. And then the two photos are going to kind of go right here. And I think that the paper that I wind up cutting initially, we're going to wind up using it for our photo mat. So that'll be there. And then we're just going to start playing, okay? Now my initial thought was to put the window like right behind it. But then I thought, no, I want to cut it in half. Because I want one half to go behind one window, one photo, and then on the other side, put the other half. So it's almost like it's, the ocean and the beautiful skies behind them, and then we're seeing through the window, right? And then you see I put the lights up on top of the windows. Perfect. Flower cluster on each side. And then we're going to add balloons. And all I'm doing is layering. And initially, I'm putting those two off to the side because I wasn't sure if I was definitely going to be using them or not. But, I decided I'm just going to put them to the side just in case. But the title is going to be Perfect Together. And then I'm going to do one of those pieces and phrases up at the top, right? And I'm going to add some elements. I have a ring down with Perfect Together and up at the top, right? And then I'm going to have another sentiment right there. I think that says always and forever, but let me double check. Okay. Ooh. All right. So we're still laying things out. I always tend to lay it out to get an idea of what I want everything to look like, and then I start gluing down. Okay. Oh, that's what it says. So my perfect together, and then the word that I put right below it is a tale of two souls. And then the one I was going to put up at the top right, I decided not to use. I just put the camera and some other little elements, like a little mini cluster just up there in the upper right. And then we're going to start gluing down some of these elements. So I put the lights on top of our window, and then we're going to lay those down. Yeah, I think right now I'm putting the other lights on, and I got it off to the side because I want to put the other bits down first while they're still in their spots, and then we can start layering on top from there. And I really, this collection, I'm gonna tell you something. I am so glad I bought it. I wasn't going to because one, I've never been married, so it's not like I have photos that I can do of myself. I'm like, like how am I going to use this collection? It's all about weddings. But it was just so pretty, and I'm so glad I got it. I didn't get like everything like I normally would, as far as like getting 2 sets of papers, 2 sets of this, 2 sets of that. Like I did, but I didn't. If it's hard to explain. So I feel like I'm really using this collection, unlike some of the other collections of theirs where I feel like I get so much stuff that I'll never get through it all. And I think if you guys like this collection, go ahead and get it, because I don't think you'll be sorry. There's a lot with the papers that doesn't really say wedding. Like one has a veil-ish on it, but I think you could make the backside work, which is more like a pattern, like whether it be polka dots or stripes, you know what I mean? So, except for the ephemera, some of the ephemera and stuff is definitely, wedding oriented. But I think like with the papers and stuff, you could probably get by with still using it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a wedding theme. All right. And then once we kind of get our spot, we got that glued down, we're going to go ahead and start gluing down our photos. I really hope you guys enjoy our little hop. It's really hard for us because we want to participate on the National Scrapbook Day, but there's so many groups and events and things happening, and, we don't want to take people necessarily away from all that. So we hope that you guys just enjoy these videos. You can watch them at your leisure, and then, join in on the fun by, like we said, adding your projects to our crop page. Okay, so now what we're going to do is line up the perfect together. And I'm trying to place that as centered as I possibly can. And then on one side, I'm going to put the other camera that we had, just kind of tucking it in. And then the same thing with the ring. So it's like it's almost a part of the end of the together. And then the tale of two souls right there. And then we're going to start adding some of the little bits. So I have the hearts. I have some circles that we got from the ephemera. The one says, love is in the air. And then the other one says love story that we just put down. And now we're going to do some hearts. And then some of these flowers we are going to use, but we're going to try popping some of them up as well. So you can feel free to do like dimensional things with these laser cuts. I love creating like a bouquet or a cluster of the flowers. And then if I find a individual flower that is similar, I'll put foam behind it and then place it on top of the petal or the flower that it's mimicking, and just give it a little bit of dimension. And you can do that a lot of times with a lot of the 49 and Market laser cuts. Sometimes it looks like you can do layers. And I always suggest do it because sometimes it just gives it that added texture to see the different heights and stuff. Now we're just tucking in leaves, and I tucked in a circle right there. And then we're going to do one up at the top. And we have, I believe that cluster will be done. And then again, popped up another flower. And then I'm going to pop the leaf I'm going to just kind of stick underneath there, making that complete. And then we're going to pop up another piece. And then anything that kind of like sticks out past that circle, I've trimmed, and we're putting one of the little circles from the chipboard there, and a flower in the center. And really, I could have kept on layering to my heart's content. This whole collection, this was the very first thing I ever made with it. And when I tell you, I almost had to like talk myself off the ledge because I was trying to use up everything. I was like, yes, use it all. So, you remember those tags that I had on the side? Well, I decided last minute, you know what? Let's just cut them super short. I was thinking, should I put them down here? You know, we have one on the right, do one at the bottom left, so it creates sort of like a diagonal. And then I was like, no, I'm not feeling that. So, instead, I cut them even shorter. And I put them like they're coming out underneath the mat of the photo. Right there. And we're going to go ahead and get those put down. And just glue them real quick. And then, let me see. And then after that, I think the rest of that I'm not going to mess with. I'm going to put that up. And really and truly, after I do that, I found out that wasn't glued down. Now that it's glued down, we're going to do some splatters. You guys know I love my splatters. So I'm just going to cover up my photos. And I'm going to grab, let me see. I did do the regular gold. So I'm grabbing the fossilized amber. And I'm also going to use black soot for the splatters. And I think I pretty much leave it at that. Normally, I'm a 3-color, splatter. On this one, I decided, I think I just wanted to use, oh no, I did use white. Yes, but the white it fades. It fades to the back some, so it's not very stark. But I just love it. I love what splattering does. I should have challenged you all to splatter. But I won't do that to you. Instead, I'm just going to challenge you to use your sprays, whether it be splatters, whether it be smushing, whether it be, I don't even know, just spraying chipboard with the colors. However you want to use them, I just want you guys to use them. I think that's one of the things I love the most about my little scrapbook store is that Michelle is about us using our products. Yes, she sells them and she wants us to, purchase from her, but she also is interested in us using what we get. And I love that. So, as we get here to the end, let me just go over it one more time. Okay, so after watching our video/post, like, subscribe, and comment with your name, and then go and enter your Hop Challenge project under the appropriate photo in the Hop folder on our crop page, okay? It's very important that you do that because you have until the end of May, which is the 31st, to enter into the challenges. Doing so, you will be a part of a random drawing for a $10 Mlss credit. And if you do them all, you will be entered in for a $50 credit. So There's a chance for credits to be won, to go shopping and have fun at the store. Here are some close-ups of my final project. And again, I thank you guys for being here. And just to remind you, my challenge is to use those sprays. Good luck and see you May 31st.